Radio.
Good day, urban gamers, and welcome to another episode of Four Brothers in the Basement. I am your host, Fox Dorsey, joined with me by Will Dorsey, Lex Dorsey,
What up?
and Double O Riser.
Why should he get the seat by himself?
He always does it.
New season, I just want to point this out.
Because I'm the second.
On today's show, we're going to be giving you some news that you should have heard coming out of Gamescom, give you our long-awaited 4 games and 4 reviews, and tell you our top 5 games of the year so far. But first things first, let's see what everybody's been playing. We're not going to go to Will because he has his own side first. So Lex, what have you been playing?
I have recently been playing XCOM, The Bureau. Yes, I got into it. I loved it. And I'm also still playing Injustice.
Double O Riser, what you been playing?
I've been playing Pikmin 3 and I just picked up Payday 2. I know how to rob banks now.
Will, what have you been playing?
Saving the best for last. Final Fantasy 14 and Last of Us.
Gamescom is bigger than E3. But it happens in the UK, overseas, so a lot of Americans, we don't really pay too much attention to Gamescom, but you really should. A lot of great information came out at Gamescom. Double Rice is going to give us a quick recap of what he thought was the best pieces of news that come out.
First thing I want to tell every system, listen to what Shadowfall did for PS4. Killzone Shadowfall pretty much said they're going to give out free DLC maps for the game. I'm sorry, I just want to repeat that for you. Free DLC maps for a game. Just keep that in mind. But also, PlayStation 4 did say that November 15th will be the day that the PlayStation 4 will come out. And the weirder part is, Sony even came up with this crazy idea. I'm going to give you guys 33 games between November 15th and December 31st.
30.
Now, keep this in mind, Sony. Nintendo said the same thing, so let's see you keep your word on this one. And
You have faith in Sony to deliver on 33 games?
Nintendo been around longer than Sony, so...
It's Nintendo though.
I got more faith in Sony right now than I do Nintendo.
All right, we got faith in Sony.
But go ahead and give us one more piece of Gamescom news.
Last information I don't like. Some crossplay is not going to happen. Titanfall execs already said that there will be no cross-platform between the Microsoft and the PC versions of Titanfall.
And see, now that doesn't make any sense to me because you're talking about next gen, you're talking about a high-end console for next generation. Why wouldn't Microsoft put cross-platform with their PC and the Xbox? It doesn't make any sense.
Because from what I heard was that people who are paying for Xbox Live, their subscription, they don't want to share any of that dedicated 3,000 or 30,000 servers that Xbox has for them.
So
that's what I heard. That's
Okay.
what I've been seeing. But I mean, it still doesn't make sense because PC, when you think PC and Xbox, that's pretty much the same thing. They're from Microsoft. I don't see how. If you think about gaming on a PC, it's always Windows.
Don't you still have to pay for a live subscription? And this may be wrong, but don't you still have to pay some type of form to play a PC game online that's developed by Microsoft?
No.
You just pop it in. Like any other PC.
Not playing.
You pay for it when you pay for this game. You don't need Xbox Live to do this.
I might as well buy a PC.
I was gonna say I might. Then you're right. Then I might as well just buy a PC game. Speaking of games, there have been a lot of great games to come out. Fall holiday season is just upon us, but there are some games that have already come out. So let's go ahead and jump right into them. One long-awaited review that we've been so to do has been Last of Us, and that's because the game is just so great. We want to make sure that we put our time into it. And Will, go ahead and tell us what you think of The Last of Us. Does it live up to the hype?
Yes, it does. Better than that Walking Dead. The first 10 minutes had me crying. Like I tried. I didn't think I was gonna cry at all. That was touching. I couldn't believe that happened.
We can't tell you what it is because
I was just gonna say, just tell us how the gameplay is.
But gameplay, I mean, I like how they did with the monsters, the infected. You know, kept it basic, kept it reasonable with the enemies, the bad guys. Other than that, sneaking around, you can do that, or loud works both ways, something like Splinter Cell, something like that. But other than that, the textures, the graphics, the environment, everything was
Tell us about the
nice.
story, because I've heard a lot of great things about the story.
The story between Ellie and I keep forgetting his name.
Joel. Yeah.
There we go. Joel it gets deep once the game progresses. After a while, I felt. I'm sorry.
Spoiler! So we're just gonna leave that alone. Okay, we're not even like I haven't played it, guys.
I'm sorry.
But that's alright.
But other than that, I mean, playing with most of the game you do play as Joel, but that one or two times that you do play with Ellie, that was great. That I love that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Great quick review of The Last of Us by Will. Lex has been playing XCOM Declassified. Go ahead, Lex, tell us about XCOM.
Well, you're starting off as a player named William Carter, set back in 1962. Yes, Will. Yes. I know. And your main objective is finding the enemy that's unknown. And yes, we mean unknown. You're talking about aliens here, people. The gameplay is simple. You know, it kind of feels like you're playing as in a first-person shooter, well, third-person technically. Like Mass Effect. Think of it that way. Mass Effect and XCOM smashing together with the gameplay and the scenery, also the options you get to talk to new people, learn about who you're fighting against, the origin or this mythos that's from another planet. You don't know what's happening. Earth has been cut off from all communications. You're just in the dead zone and you're just fighting a war.
Tell us about, because XCOM just jumped over genres, and there's not a lot of games that can successfully cross genres like XCOM has done. Tell us how you feel about the gameplay and how it's changed.
Well, the first gameplay for the first XCOM that came out Unclassified, it was a bit new to me because I never played tactical games before, but I got used to it and I enjoyed it. Now, its third-person view gave me a more feel like, okay, I'm more in hands on the actions. You know, I get to make a little bit more quicker, solemn judgments in my characters, place them to where they need to be. The game's really hard. Like, I played on normal and I still died, like, ridiculously. So, you know, for you third-person shooters, I say go ahead and pick something up, you know, quick and fun to play with. For someone that's been playing XCOM, the tactical-wise, this will be something out of your element, but still you'll know what to do in situations and you'll still be fine.
Pikmin 3, I'm probably saying that wrong.
Pikmin 3.
Pikmin.
Best game ever.
You can still see that I still don't, at this the third game, I still don't care about it. Nintendo chose to finally release one of its AAA titles, and this is the title they choose to release. Double Horizon, please tell us about this game.
Pikmin is
Well,
wrong.
Pikmin 3. That's a great game because not only did they keep us to the core of the game, the red, yellow, blue Pikmin, but they added in additional characters or additional Pikmin. There's a raw Pikmin who, once again, very heavy, throw them against enemies, do more damage. They also included this new one called the Flying Pikmin. They exchanged it for the white Pikmin that we knew from Pikmin 2 and exchanged it to now it can fly. So instead of just having like the one blue Pikmin that can go underwater, now you have the flying Pikmin following you but not getting injured. Also, they did a great added feature with the Wii U gamepad where you can look at the map and pretty much designate all three of the little crewmen that you have, like Olimar. You can actually designate them to go certain places and get even more tactical excavation or
The little juice that you have to be got.
Yeah, getting all the juices and all the like little tidbits and knickknacks and whatever they want to do. Yeah, you can do it with 3 people now, and it gives you that gamepad that gives you like shows you where everything is at and plans and plan everything out. So it makes it a little bit more tactical. It's simple and yet more tactical for like all of our old school gamers like we are who've been playing Pikmin since the first one back on GameCube.
Okay, now that's a good question. Now, once again, I haven't played any of the Pikmin, but I know that the first one came out, whatever. The first one came out for the GameCube. It used the regular thumbstick. Second one came out for the Wii U. That changed everything. I'm sorry, the Wii.
Yeah.
You were able to point. Tell us about how you're able to interact with your Pikmin now, because now you have the touchpad. And so now, is there anything different with the touchpad, or is it still kind of using the thumbstick, or are you able to use it as a motion wise?
I didn't find out the motion wise part in regards to the gamepad, but you are using the actual thumbsticks to control each crew member. But at the same time, it has a huge map on the gamepad, which makes it a lot easier to find everything. And like, you know what? I want to go here or go there instead of having the little game map in the corner like it was on Pikmin 1 and 2. Which makes it a lot more easier to navigate and have each different person like just separate and go find whatever you need them to find.
Real quick, tell us about multiplayer for Pikmin.
Well, multiplayer was fun. He cheated at E3, but I just want to point that out. Multiplayer, you can do a type of bingo, as you can say, where you have to there are 5 things that you need to find and collect and make it into like a bingo thing. And it puts you on a map where you can go against that person, where some of the items that you have to collect goes against the person that they need to collect. So like Pikmin battle, which is kind of funny.
So it's like Pikmin 2, how they had when you reverse each other, you had to collect the last item that was on the map. Whoever gets to it first and brings it back to their own ship wins the game.
Yeah, that's pretty much like that. And they also have mission mode. Mission mode is really more advanced for like us older gamers, because the mission mode, if you do anything like a second short, you miss it. It gets really, really tactical. And mission mode is something I've delved so many hours into.
Okay, it sounds like they put a lot into it. They should have, because like I said, it's one of Nintendo's, finally one of their first AAA titles for the Wii U. We're going to definitely talk about that more later on in another show, because there's a lot that we need to talk about with Nintendo and the future of Nintendo. And we're all laughing because we already know what the problem is. Running out of time, quickly I want to tell you guys about Saints Row 4. For a lot of you guys who are fans of the series, there's not going to be, well, there is some differences with it, but a lot of it you're going to find, you're going to love if you're a fan of the series. If you're someone new to it, I would probably tell you to wait for it until it drops price-wise. This game actually started off, interesting fact, actually started off as DLC. It was supposed to be called Saints Row Homies in Space. From the few missions that you play, the first couple of hours, they could have left it a DLC. It's one of those things where, unfortunately, they probably put too much into it, decided to make it into another game. Not to say that the game's not fun. The game is fun. There's a lot of powers in there that's really good. But I just think that if you're not a fan of the series, if you haven't played any of them, because there's 3 of them that have been out, I don't see any reason why you would jump into it now. Wait for it to drop in price. There are a lot of better games that are coming out. Unfortunately, yeah, I would probably wait to get that. Last thing, let's talk about our top 5 games of the year so far. It's been a good year so far. Once again,
towards the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, those AAA titles haven't dropped, but even the ones that have came out, like your Crysis, your Tomb Raiders.
There's a reason behind him saying this first.
Before we go, let's give you our top 5 games of the year so far. In no particular order. Number 5, Fire Emblem Awakening.
Yes!
Woo! No particular order, really?
I want you guys to know that this is not a monarch, this is a democracy. We all vote on the games that we want to see in the top 5. I have no love for Fire Emblem. I don't like tactical strategies, whatever you want to call them.
He didn't play it.
Unfortunately, I am going to play it because it's on our list. Number 4 is, please say the name of the game, Lex.
Shin Megami Tensei 4.
Thank you.
Once again, 3DS game. Who even plays handhelds now if it's not a tablet or a cell phone? I want to know.
Excuse me, if I had it, I would.
This comes from the guy who has a Vita. Just want to keep that in mind.
Right. No one plays 3DSs. No one plays Vitas.
He just complained about handhelds.
Let's keep going. Number 3, Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider's excellent game. I still haven't gotten a chance to play that. I'm going to play that so that way I can weigh in towards the end of the year on what's the game of the year. BioShock Infinity. Excellent game.
Why are you shaking your head?
Excellent.
Oh, because you didn't play it as well.
Excellent
because
game.
it doesn't hold up to this next game.
And so far, our number 1 game, which doesn't surprise anyone, The Last of Us.
Yes, it doesn't hold up to that. That's
so
why.
if you guys haven't gotten a chance to play any of those games, the 2 3DS games I have not played.
Play them.
If you can get a chance to play them, you'll probably hear them coming up shortly within the next few months when we talk about Game of the Year. in order to talk about Game of the Year, you got to be able to play it. So if you haven't played it, your opinion really lacks base.
That's why Last of Us is gonna win.
That's our show for today. Remember, people, there's a gamer in all of us. You just need the right game.
Hey, wait.
Final Fantasy 4.
Wait, the budget said we can have a C4.
We can have C4. We're good.
All right.
We're good.
C4 for the combat axe.